Hello, good morning, my Stampin' friends. I'm so glad you're joining me today. I'm excited because today we're going to make 3 cards, not just one. We're going to do 3. And we're going to be fussy cutting. We're going to be using die cuts and we're going to use punches. But what we're really going to focus on are these great blending brush backgrounds. And we're going to have some fun with today's card. I hope you guys are excited to be here. It's going to be a good one. Let me go ahead and bring my amazing friends on the screen. We've got Christina. She's joining you on Facebook. So those of you that are watching me on Facebook Live, she'll be answering any of your questions or comments. Brenda is over on YouTube. So she'll be there answering you guys there. So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. So Sandy
Brenda
just said hi from Honolulu with her first grandbaby.
Oh, Sandy, how special. Congratulations. How fun. And being in Honolulu, that sounds really good because it's, let's see. Ooh,
8 degrees?
We're warming up. No, it's 11 now.
Ooh.
Wow. We're warming up.
Swimsuit.
We've actually, here in Oklahoma, we've been covered in ice.
You could go get in the pond with the geese.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys see my reel?
Oh.
I went outside to feed my poor geese and my ducks, and oh, they're so cold. I don't know if I told you guys this story, though. We had a little ice come through. Well, sometimes just in the winter, the pond will freeze over. This goose was sitting on the ice. Well, his or her, I can't tell them apart, sat on the ice a little too long and got stuck.
Oh, no.
So you know the old stick your tongue to the flagpole? Don't let a goose stick her hiney to ice.
Yep. Oh.
She could not get up for the longest time. Now I can see it from my stamp room. And so I kept watching and watching for this goose to get up. And what's really sad is then I look out and the goose is gone. And there's just feathers stuck to the. Oh, it's like, oh my. And now you're bald back there. Oh, poor little.
Oh.
Kind of a dumb goose.
She got a free Brazilian.
Oh my. And you just wonder, like, how hard did he or she, like I said, I don't know, have to work to try to get off the ice. Oh. Okay. Not funny, but just as I just kept watching going, oh, I think I know what's wrong with that goose. I think I know why it's not moving out there.
Don't sit on the ice. Don't sit on
the ice, you guys. Yeah. But yeah, oh, I'm telling you, the wind was blowing like crazy and all that. We let the dogs out. Whenever we let the dogs out, that's when the geese know, oh, she's here to feed us. And I'm like, okay, I got to go bundle up and go feed. And oh, yeah, they were quite happy to see me. In fact, we fed them a lot because I went, you probably don't know where your next meal is coming from. So anyway, yeah, had to go out in the freezing cold to take care of the geese. But the ice is starting to melt.
Evaporate.
Yeah.
It's not warm enough for it to melt, but the sun is out, which is taking some of it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the entire state's been shut down for 2 days. I mean, car accidents. Oh, the worst one. And you guys may have heard of this.
Egg wreck in Tulsa. I saw
the egg wreck. A semi-truck full of eggs. We're like
billions of dollars lost.
More valuable than diamonds right now.
I know, exactly. In fact, I got mad at Rich the other day because, again, the state was shut down. So he was home. And he's in there fixing breakfast and he's fixing eggs. And I'm like, this is not a 5-star Michelin restaurant, sir. You can't just make eggs.
No.
$8 a dozen. Oh my goodness.
I think when we went last night, they were down to 6 at our grocery store.
Okay.
So.
Good for you. That's awesome. Yeah,
it's a whole lot more than free from the gal I go to church with, but her layers are, wintering over. So
yeah,
man, that would be awesome. That would be awesome to have somebody who has chickens. I'm about to maybe I'll just stick a chicken out in the backyard and go, hey.
You've got enough farm country around you. Find you some people that do eggs.
There, you know what? And just like the next street over, I know I hear them. So maybe I have to go ride my bike in front goes back and forth until they notice me.
More, please.
Well, hey, everybody. I'm so glad that you guys are here. We always like to give everyone a chance to get on. And if you're wondering, we do like to kind of chat and visit for a while when we're on live. So if you're here for the stamping, don't worry, we are going to get to it. If you're watching the replay, just scroll forward till you see my hands and we're going to get going. So let's see, Beverly's here. And she said it's been a while since she's watched us live. So Beverly, I'm so glad you're here.
Michelle
Shirley
says,
and Judy from Virginia.
Connie, Michelle, her comment's great.
Oh, my husband said he would love to have all the eggs back from Halloween night in his youth. Well, yeah. I don't know about you, but I'm like, we're not dying Easter eggs this year.
No.
Plastic it is.
That's funny.
And I love Easter and deviled eggs. And yeah, we're not, no way. So Kathy's here and it's her first time watching live. She usually has to watch the replay. Well, Kathy, we're glad you're here. We've got Shelly from South Dakota and Sheila from Iowa. Sandra says, I have a golden egg, a singular egg. And I had wanted to make, she'd wanted to make banana bread, but I needed 2 eggs. Well, so you have a singular egg, but you need 2. Have you found my banana bread recipe? It's amazing. My banana bread, it uses like brown sugar instead of white sugar. Game changer. All right. Polly says it's 27 there. Oh. Yeah, I guess it just kind of hit everything.
This must be the year to dye potatoes. Oh my. What was I told my husband said last night? He goes, as long as Cadbury doesn't make their eggs more expensive, we're good.
Yeah.
Actually, they probably will because chocolate and vanilla.
Yeah, I don't like them anyway, but you know.
Yeah, well, some of us do.
I know.
Yeah. Well, shall we get to stamping?
Yeah, if we have to.
Okay, let me get my computer all set here, friends. Okay, give me a sec. And whoops. Nope, we want up there. All right, guys, here we go. So I'm excited to make 3 cards with you. These are super easy and really fun. Like I said, we're going to fussy cut. We're going to use dies and we're going to use punches because I wanted you to see that there's so much you can do with these cards we're going to create. So my first card, this has been one of my, how many times, ladies, do I say, this is my favorite? I know. But this one, it's adorable. Sweet peas. I love Hello Grumpy. But we're going to make a baby card with the sweet peas. All right. So we have, now these measurements I'm going to give you, they're going to be the same for all the cards. Okay. I have got some lemon lime twist, 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. I've got 2 pieces of granny apple green and, let me get my measurements here. Oh, speaking of measurements, you guys, I have a free download for you that goes along with the video. So don't try to write down any measurements. All 3 cards, you're going to have the measurements. You're going to have the photos. Here's all the supplies I used, and there's a QR code so you can come back and watch the video again. And if you're in the United States, guys, I would love to be your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. All the supplies I used on my cards today are right here. You can click this graphic or you can follow the link and you can order. And guys, there's just a little bit left of celebration. So don't miss out because when you spend $60 or more, you get free stuff. We love free stuff. On that note, let me go back to my measurements. But I've got some granny apple green. I've got 2 of them, 3 7/8 by 5 1/8. Okay. Then I've got some basic white, and these are for the front and for the inside, of course. These are a 3 3/4 by 5. And then this is just a scrap, but it's about a 2 by 2. Okay. So let's jump in. The first thing I want to show you is this blending brush technique. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of grid paper here and a granny apple green ink pad. And we're going to use the small blending brushes. Why there's a Stampin' Dimensional on my blending brush, I don't know. But let's remove that. Okay. So I'm going to kind of teach you a little bit about using blending brushes. Let me see if I can get myself kind of set here where you guys can see everything, but I need to kind of move that down. All right. So when you go and ink up a blending brush, you can tap, you can swirl, whatever works best for you. But let me show you on this grid paper, there's a lot of ink. And see, that's not pretty. What we want is that. We want that soft look. So I always kind of dab off a little bit first, okay? And now for this one, this is going to swirl right in the middle. Now, the other tip I like to give you with this is start in the center with, I mean, a light touch, okay? I'm like, ooh, look, just barely. Because again, we're kind of letting some of that ink come off, all right? And as we do that, now we can kind of swirl our way outwards. And that's what's going to give you that really nice soft look. Now, the other thing I want to recommend if you're new to blending brushes, practice. I mean, it's not a difficult thing to practice. Practice on some grid paper, practice on some junk mail, whatever you want, but kind of give yourself an opportunity to play with it. As I get further out and more of that ink is coming off, I can press a little bit harder, okay? All right, I think that looks really pretty. So I'm going to move this out of my way. And I'm going to I got to keep my desk clean today, guys, because I got a lot going on here. I need my Memento Black ink pad. Let's do some stamping. We're also going to be using Stampin' Blends today. And I've got my Granny Apple Green Stampin' Blends. I'm going to start with this little leafy image. And I'm going to stamp one here and one about there. My little sweet pea is going to go there in the middle. Let's go ahead and get our sentiment. Welcome, sweet pea. All right. I'm going to set this off to the side for a sec. And I'm going to bring in my grid paper. And where did that little piece of cardstock go? That little scrap. Oh, there we go. There we go. Come here. All right, let's stamp our little sweet pea. Michelle says, I learned that not all blending brushes are created. I'm going to try that again, Michelle. Not all blending brushes are created equal and none compared to Stampin' Up. Good to know. You know what? I've only used the ones from Stampin' Up. And I do love the quality. And you know what, Michelle, you bring up a good point because with blending brushes, if the brushes have too much, if the bristles are too coarse, it's not going to give you that nice soft look. I'm going to take my dark Stampin' Blend, and I'm keeping my blending pretty easy. In fact, I'm not even doing a lot of blending. I'm just really using the two colors. So Granny Apple Green Dark, and we're going to get the outside of my sweet pea. And you know what? I mean, I got to be honest, there's no reason this little sweet pea couldn't be pink. I think it'd be adorable for a little girl in pink. This one, of course, I'm going to do for a little boy. So there is the dark. And now with the light, couldn't be any easier. We're going to get the pea itself, and then there's just some little details here, and we'll get these colored in. And like I said, this set does not have, it doesn't have a, lost my scissors. It doesn't have a die set, so we're going to fussy cut. And I've got some tips on fussy cutting. How many of you are groaning right now because I said fussy cut? It's not my favorite either. I love to use my dies and my punches. Pardon me a second. Oh, my nose is running today, you guys. All right. So my tip for fussy cutting is to keep your scissors still and to move your cardstock. So notice how my scissors are staying straight. And I'm just moving my cardstock around. And I'm not going to get into every little crevice here, okay? But I just find this works so much better for fussy cutting if you just move your cardstock. curious if anybody out there, do you do this method, or do you even think about it and you just cut? I can't take my eyes off of it to read your comments. So Christina and Brenda, if anyone's got any comments, please jump in and let me know.
My favorite one I just read is, my tip for fussy cutting is to have someone else do it.
A lot of people commented groan.
Groan. I know. I know,
what?
and it's because we've been so spoiled with dies and punches that, the idea of fussy cutting. Do you guys do that? You see a stamp set from Stampin' Up and you go, oh yeah, I got to get that. Oh, there's no dies. I know, because I have to have dies for everything. I love dies. That's not too bad. Really, that tip, move your cardstock and not your scissors. Okay. So I'm going to set that off to the side, and now I'm going to stamp on the inside of my card. And for this one, I'm going to stamp. I had to remember, what did I do? We're going to stamp another sweet pea here. And we're just going to say welcome sweet pea again. Okay. And put it about right there. Hopefully I got it straight. All right. I'm not going to color the other sweet pea because, you guys know. You just saw me color it. So let's go ahead and put this card together, and I'll get that colored here later. Again, adhesive. There we go. And let me get the tugger hair off of it. My dog, I'm telling you, his hair is all over my stamp room, and it's always where my adhesive is. Okay, now what you need to know, this is a tight fit, but I love just that little tiny border of the Granny Apple Green. I think it's really, really sharp. And you guys know, if you wanted to cut or die cut something from the center of that, please feel free to do that before you put it together. But this one, I just didn't have anything in particular I needed. Let's take our other one. We'll add that to the inside. I love this Granny Apple Green up against Lemon Lime Twist. It's a great contrast. And like I said, I'm definitely going to come back and I'll just color in my little sweet pea. And if you wanted, where's my blending brush? Oh, I think I put it down here. If you wanted to add a little bit, you could just give it a little bit of that if you wanted to. So I'm going to come back and color that. And now we're going to take our little sweet pea. I've got Stampin' Dimensionals on the back. And we're going to add her right there. Isn't that just precious? It's just beautiful. And I love that little bit of pop. And then that blending brush just gives it, just this really perfect soft feel. So there we go. All right, guys, card number 1. Let's move on to card number 2. Tell them what they won, Carol. Tell me how many of you remember that. Door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3. All right. So this card, this one was my favorite. Okay, Darling Dinos is a adorable stamp set. This is Christina's favorite too.
It's my favorite. I love it.
So we're going to do just a sweet little birthday card with a little I love you in it. And this card, we're going to use the bundle. So we're going to use the stamp set and we're going to use the dies. Look at everything in that stamp set. Look, we're going to give ours a little party hat, but you have a little top hat. You have these adorable little glasses. You've got flowers, and lots of different sentiments. Roar means happy birthday and dinosaur. I mean, it's just too cute. Fabulous set. Okay. So let me move this out of my way and we're going to jump in. Same measurements. Okay. But we're going to be using Bubble Bath as our card base. And then I have basic black and basic white, just like we did before. Look, you can't even see that black cardstock on my background. And then my little scrap that I have is a little bit bigger. This one, what have I got? It looks like a 2 3/4 by 2 1/4. Again, it is just a scrap. So let's go ahead and start with our blending. And I'm going to figure out what I did. There we go. I need my little scratch paper. We're going to use Bubble Bath for our blends today. And so just like we did before, I'm going to ink it up, pretty good. but we want to get some of that harshness off. Now, when it comes to your really, really light colors, like this was Granny Apple Green. Okay, that's a really dark color. Bubble Bath is really light, all right? So we don't want to get as much of it off. But this time we're going to put this kind of down in the bottom right corner. So remember that really light touch? Look, you can barely even see it, and that's okay. I'd rather barely be able to see it and add more pressure than to get, you know, that harsh that we don't want. Yep, and I actually think I took too much of it off, so I'll do that just a little bit lighter. There we go. And I just swirl in a circle, and I'm kind of working my way up, but I'm kind of keeping it down here in this bottom corner. Let's see. I think that looks pretty good. All right. Yay, another one done. Okay, friends. Now, let's bring in, I'm going to set this off to the side, and we're going to bring in that little scrap and our Memento Black. Okay, let me see if I can read some comments. I'm kind of, Sweet Sarah says, joining late from snowy Northwest Arkansas. Well, I'm so glad you're here, Sweet Sarah. So glad to have you. We're going to stamp our little dinosaur. Oh, she's just adorable. Now, keep in mind, this could easily be, there's several different dinosaurs you could choose from. And then I said this was going to be a birthday. So we'll stamp the little party hat. And we're going to bring in some more Stampin' Dimensionals. We're going to bring in some Granny Apple Green and some Bubble Bath. No, Granny Apple Greens. Why do I have this? This is from the previous one. Don't listen to me. We're just going to do some Bubble Bath. So I'm going to start with the dark. And again, I got to tell you, I'm really not blending today. I'm using them to strictly color. You can blend. Please feel free. This is just kind of like the mood I'm in today. So I'm going to do the dark up at the top. Get her little horns here in the dark. And I'm going to stop there for a second. And now I'm going to come in with the light. Oh, yeah. I'm going to come in with the light. I've got some tricks I want to share with you. So I'm going to color everything with light. And, you know, I got to tell you one thing I love about Stampin' Blends. You don't have to be neat. Stampin' Blends do not leave any kind of lines. You know how some markers you can see the lines? Stampin' Blends do not. And I used to hate to color until blends came along. Okay, I'm going to do some
Connie,
yeah.
Can I share a quick tip with you?
Yeah.
The other day I was using my blends and I learned don't open your blends over top of what you've been coloring.
Yes. Did you notice I did it over here too?
When sometimes it can like fly out and it will leave spots. So keep that in mind. Don't open it over your project.
You're absolutely right. And I do that all the time. I think it's just habit now that when I open it off, you know, off to the side because I have done that too many times. Thank you for that. All right. So now that I've got all that light on there, now I'm going to come back in. You know what? Do you guys find this that sometimes like the thicker tip will have a little more ink to it? And yet my Bubble Bath definitely does. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to give her some pink nail polish here. And here's the other thing I like to do. I'm going to add a little cheek. Okay. Oh, let's get her the party hat. Goodness. So we'll just add that. And then if you want to kind of go back over the horns again, kind of give them a little more pop, you can do that. Friends, we're now going to come in with the dies. Look, you get dies for everything. They're so cute. We're going to be using the balloon. And even though we're not using the die for it, it's good to know there is one. And then we'll get the little party hat here. All right, so we're going to die cut that. And guess what? Through the magic of television, I have it done. Boop. Okay. So before I add this, I'm going to do a little more stamping on this, okay? So I'm going to add, there's some little rocks. And I just thought it kind of added, let me bring my card in so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can kind of, if you want, you can bring this doesn't, oh my gosh, you guys. I think I did this one in pretty in pink. Oops. I'm like, that doesn't look right. Okay, well, we're going to go for it. It's still going to look good. But you can kind of eyeball about where your dinosaur is going to go. Leave it to me. I must have picked up the wrong blends when I was doing that. Now we will come in with crumb cake. And I'm going to use the dark. And these I am going to do a little blending, okay? I'm just kind of getting what I like to call the work that the artists have done. And then we'll blend these together. You notice I'm going right over that pink. So this darker color in crumb cake hides that pink. And again, look at the pop it gives. So cool, right? All right, we're going to take our dinosaur and just add her right there. Now, this is a birthday card. So I'm going to stamp happy birthday. And I'm just going to kind of do that at an angle. Okay, now let me go ahead and show you what we're going to do on the inside because I've got some tips for you. So for the inside, I decided to say, I love you. And I'm going to get the string for my balloon. Now, this was my tip. In between love and you is where I want my balloon string to go. Okay, so be sure to stamp that first. And now I can take my balloon. We'll stamp that there. I think I'm done with my Memento Black, so let me get that out of my way before I wear it. Real quick stamping here. I'm going to take my dark and just kind of give myself a little swirl. And then I can blend it with the light. So yeah, just a little bit of blending. Okay. All right, friends, let's put this card together. So easy. Let's see what you guys are saying. Lori likes the idea with the balloon. Yeah, I thought it was a fun one. And I could add a balloon right here as well, but I didn't want to overwhelm the card. Guys, I cannot see this black cardstock on my black table. So I'm going to have to bring it over here or else I'm going to end up adhering it crooked. My goodness. Okay, so we'll add this to the inside. Elaine says, great hints today. Yes, and Brenda's tip on opening your blends off to the side is one I have loved for years. It's a great one. All right, well, I'm going to add my pretty in pink. I don't know what I was thinking, you guys. Guess magic of television kind of failed for me today. And by the way, if you like to add gems or sparkles or any kind of bling to your card, feel free. I love clean and simple. And I just thought these cards, yeah, the pretty in pink's not bad, but I like bubble bath better. So, all right, guys, there we go. So that is our second card. Let's do one more. How am I doing on time? Not too bad. All right, guys. This one was really fun. I have been needing to use this stamp set. And this is Cutest Cow. And you see, it does have a fantastic punch for our cow. I've got tips for you for this one. This is an adorable stamp set. Can you guys give me 1 minute? I got to get some stamps out of my way because I'll end up laying something in it. Okay, so my card base this time, early espresso. Okay, I've got 2 pieces of crumb cake and the 2 pieces of basic white. Now this time we're going to get creative with one of our crumb cake pieces, okay? Because we're going to stamp our cow. And we are going to do this in early espresso. Now this is a layering piece. I thought I just stuck my finger in an ink pad. Shocker. Okay, we're going to stamp the body of our cow, and I want you to kind of bring it down here towards the bottom, okay? Now, no one's going to see this, but we are going to use it as a layer. I'm going to bring in my punch, line all this up, and we're going to give that a punch. Okay, Now, to get the head of the cow, we're going to bring this, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to bring it there. Let's see how close we are. Here's the thing. I can always flip it over. Yep, I'm going to be okay. So what I don't want to do, I want to leave myself, you know, a little space here at the bottom. I wouldn't want my punch to come off the bottom. And if I did, I could always flip it over. I could always do it this way as well. Okay, so whatever works. Because like I said, this is going on the front, just like I mentioned on the Sweet Pea card. And I said, oh, if I wanted to, you know, cut or punch something from that background on the front, I could. Okay.
Hey, Connie.
Yes.
I just want to mention that I really appreciate how you save paper that way, because I've noticed that when we punch out and can layer, A, we're saving paper, and B, we're saving postage.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. I do this. I kind of feel the same way. I want to share with you something. So these are just some of the pieces that punched out, because I'm not this good. Okay. But some people, because it's photopolymer, can punch and then stamp. It's not bad, but let's see. I don't know. I'm just not that gifted when it comes to trying to. Oh, and of course, look, I did it great on camera. That will never happen again. You can't always do that. All right. If you're brave. Okay. So I'm going to take this just because it's here. And like I said, no one's going to see it. Let's add this to the front of our card base. And then this one for the inside. Friends, you want the one that's going on the inside. Don't cut or punch or anything out of it. Because when you go to write your message, you're going to hit those little bumps. It's going to mess up your writing. So when it comes to the inside of the card, don't do any punching from it. All right. Okay. So we have that. Let's do our stamping. I'm going to bring in my icky paper again. And we're going to bring in some Daffodil Delight and yet another blending brush. By the way, do you guys know how to clean your blending brushes? It's super hard. You rinse it underwater. That's it. That's it. Just rinse it underwater. Okay, so again, just like that granny apple green, do you see it's like, I got the big blob. So we want to make sure we've deblobbed it, okay? And for this card, you can see I kind of want to stay over here a little bit more on the left side. Again, start with a light touch. As I always say, you can add more, but you can't take it away. Once that ink is down, it's down. Okay. So there I've got things started. Now I'm going to kind of blend out just a little bit. This also just kind of gives a nice little sunshine look. All right. I think I'm good with that. And I'm done with my Daffodil Delight. Let's do some more stamping. We're going to take the sunflowers. Love sunflowers. Christina, do you remember when you tried to grow sunflowers and I said, yeah, sure, whatever. And then we had these massive sunflowers. I didn't think they'd grow.
Yes, because I do everything in my life to spite those who said that it won't work.
It's so true.
I was like, can I plant these? And you're like, sure, honey, but nothing's going to happen. They're not going to grow. And I was like, okay, watch.
And it was huge.
And they did.
And I think it was like, did we just get one?
No, we did 3, I think.
Did we got 3? Oh gosh, yeah. So funny. I do remember that because it was in this little flower bed that was just like nothing. And I'm like, yeah, nothing's going to grow there. All right. Well, you guys can see we're adding some grass down here at the bottom. Okay, let's come in with some more Stampin' Blends. We're going to use these here. So again, I'm kind of sticking to one color. So I'm going to do, this is Daffodil Delight Stampin' Blends, and I'm going to use the dark to color in my sunflowers. And we are going to use both of the Granny Apple Greens whoops, get that a little bit more. So I'm going to use the dark on the leaves. Okay. And don't you love, especially when you're using these lighter colors? Well, actually, I did it on all of it, but do you notice, even though you've used that color behind it, when you color in now with the blends over, it just, the colors just go pow. I love it. I am crazy in love with blends. Okay, keep coloring. Let's see. I wish I could read comments in color. I cannot do it. So Christina, Brenda, if you've got anyone chiming in, let me know. Now with the light Granny Apple Green, and I'm going to use the brush tip. Bloop. I'm just going to scribble. And yes, I have some down here because this is where my little cow's going to go. Okay. And let's get let's try the light first. Nope, that's too light. We're going to go with the dark on, much better, on the insides of my sunflowers. Okay. Real quick, we're going to go ahead and add this to our card. Oh, you know what? I've got to color in. I got to do a little bit of coloring on my cow. So let's go ahead and get this adhered. Do you love this crumb cake and espresso? Again, just that little tiny bit. So what I'm going to do on my cow, we're going to take our light, trying to remember what I should do. Yes, we're going to do light. And you'll see there's just kind of a few little, let's get just a little bit of the ear. And we'll get her spots. I don't know if it's a boy or girl. Is there a way to tell if it's a boy or girl cow? Anyone? Okay, so we're going to get that with the light.
Udders.
Huh?
Girls have udders.
Oh, well, don't. Yeah, that would be. So I guess this is a little boy.
It's actually a very distinct way to tell boy cows from girl cows.
I needed more coffee today. That's hilarious. Okay, we're going to take the dark and get his hooves. Since now we know it can't be a girl. I cannot believe I actually said that out loud. All right. And I'm also going to kind of come in and just on his nostrils, we're going to give those a little bit of something. Okay. I have these put together with some Stampin' Dimensionals. You notice lots of minis on there too. Okay. Lots of places for minis on this one. Whoops, come here. Let's add our cow. I like that the ear kind of hangs off there. And now nothing is a better sentiment than holy cow. So let's work on the inside of the card because we're going to do some fun stuff with this. I'm going to start with a little bit of grass down here. We've got our milk. What are they? Just milk jug? Yeah, that. We've got a couple more sentiments here. And we're going to say, it's your special day.
Connie.
Yeah.
It is clear you are a city girl.
It's true. What's it called?
It's called a milk canister.
It's a canister. See, a canister is what you put flour and sugar in, not milk.
Again, you're a city girl.
All right, we're going to do just some quickie coloring here. Again, I'm going to get my grass. I'm going to take both colors of the blends and I'm going to color in my canister. And we'll start with the dark and just kind of get some of the detail. Hey, since we got the dark out, we're going to do a little blending. Why not? And now we come in with light. Blend those together. Okay, done. All right, friends, let's see. You know what? I have this one done. So there we go. Adorable. Adorable. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me bring in all my cards. So fun. So we can fussy cut, we can die cut, and we can punch, can't we? So sweet. So sweet. I hope that you guys like these and that you'll give them a try. Don't forget, you've got the free download with all the measurements. And really, the measurements, they're also easy because they're all the same, right? We kept it pretty simple there. So thank you guys so much for being here. We went a little bit longer than normal, but you know what? 3 cards takes time, right? Thanks for being a part. I hope that you guys will, one, stay warm. I know it's just crazy cold out there in the US. So stay warm, stay inside. It's a great time to stamp. And you know, you've got some friends out there that are in need of a card. And any of these cards would be fantastic. Change them up, change whatever image. Pull out those blending brushes. And like Michelle said, you can't beat the ones from Stampin' Up. And remember, if you need to order any of the supplies that I use, I'd love to be your demonstrator. And right there in that free download, you'll have everything that you need for you to place an order. So I don't want you guys to miss out during celebration and all that great free stuff. So, all right, my friends, thank you. Have a fantastic Thursday and a great weekend. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.